Hi everyone, this is James Spencer, bringing to you guys a great story about a man who not only revolutionized technology, but saved tens of millions of people in the process. That man is Alan Turing. Now our story starts in the 1930s, in Europe. Now the German war machine is in full swing. They're gearing up to take over and conquer anything that they want. They're going to sweep through Europe and they're just going to kill and take whatever they want. Now, one of their most effective tools is the fact that they encrypt all of their messages so no one can read them. Just like we do today with our web messages and stuff like that, so hackers can't get to them. The Germans invented this. They did this so that no one can see their messages and they would have the upper hand by surprise. Now, in the late 1930s, war is full on in Europe. The Germans took Poland, and they're not stopping. They want everything. They're taking anything they want at all costs. Well, a team of British mathematicians and scientists were trying to figure out a way to break this German code. The Germans had the Enigma Machine, which was the machine responsible for actually encrypting all the messages. And the Germans believed that this was unbreakable. It was an unbreakable code, no one can do it. And they were almost right. But a man named Alan Turing, smart dude, he was able, with his team, to come up with a machine called a bombe that actually can crack the German encryption. Now what this did, this took the element of surprise away from the Germans. So the Allied forces kind of had a heads up. They would intercept the messages. They kind of knew what the Germans were doing. They could meet them there, boom, and the fight was on. Germans lost that bit of the upper hand. Now it's because of this, the war was shortened, historians say, by about 2 to 3 years. And the average death rate for a year of fighting was about 7 million. So you're talking 15, 20 million people were spared because of Alan Turing and this bombe that he invented, this encryption-breaking bombe. And that's where our story starts to shift a little bit over. After the war, he moved his focus not only to encryption and working on newer versions of military encryption, he also was working on the first computers ever. On top of that, he conceptualized artificial intelligence. He's probably the first guy in history to do it. But the story does not have a happy ending. And unfortunately, in the 1950s in England, being a homosexual was against the law. And in 1952, Alan Turing was arrested for being a homosexual. Now, instead of trying to lie his way out of it, he chose to stand up and admit, yeah, I'm gay. This earned him a place standing in front of a judge, having a prosecutor try to throw him in prison. This man, who's a national hero, matter of fact, an international hero, I can only imagine him standing in a courtroom, staring at a judge, hearing a prosecutor try to throw him in prison because of his lifestyle choices. And I tell you, I don't know if he was thinking this in his head, but if I was standing in front of that judge, I would have probably shouted out, you know what? All you guys would have been in a concentration camp if it wasn't for me. Now, he didn't say that, but I sure as hell would. They give him a lighter sentence because they make him choose between prison or chemical castration. He chooses chemical castration. So basically it's a year of hormone injections that leaves him impotent. 2 years later, kills himself. Cyanide poisoning. Now, the true scope of his work and his genius wasn't fully realized because a lot of the stuff that he did for the government was classified for decades and decades later. And it wasn't until the 1970s that they started to slowly release it. Some of the work that he did for the government wasn't unclassified until the 2010s. So, in 2013, Queen Elizabeth finally issues this guy a pardon. Clears his name. And as the material that comes out unclassified gives us this huge look into this man's genius in life. We gain more respect for him every day. Well, that's my story. I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you did, please click subscribe and share your comments below. I'd really love to hear from you guys.